Hello, guys. Welcome to the wonderful wide world of Pokemon on the Mount Silver podcast. We are here with our first YouTube exclusive content on the Lookout YouTube channel. So if you would like to be aware of more upcoming content or exclusive content that we may drop, please hit the subscribe button. Also follow the Lookout on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play to listen to our host of podcasts on anime, manga, and in this case, a podcast on Pokemon. My name is Meelz. I'm here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff, and of course, Big Gucci Bafif, and we are here to break down the creepiest Pokedex entries in all of Pokemon. Let's get started. All right, we're here. Of course, Halloween is coming up, so we've decided to take a look at the creepiest Pokedex entries that we've got here. Let's lay down the rules of what constitutes a creepy Pokedex entry, because there are a ton of different types of Pokedex entries, and most of them have to do with some biological thing or some nature thing.
They reused way more than I thought they did, honestly, when I was like looking at which game version to use on my list. One from Black and White 2 is the one from Ruby and Sapphire. That's weird.
Right. And to be honest, fair. Because who's rewriting?
Yeah.
We're entering Gen 9. Like, Cubone is still Cubone. What constitutes sort of a creepy Pokedex entry? I'm thinking something morbid, something gruesome, something unsettling, something that is completely not habitat based, not nature based, not like Sharpedo eats Ponytas every sort of often, even though that would be creepy as hell.
It would be.
Insane.
Ponyta, get away from the beach.
I'm saying, why are you there? Why are you there, Ponyta?
But with that said, I mean, let's get into these Pokedex entries. We've counted about. I mean, we've had a ton. Don't get me wrong.
We have way more than what we're going to talk about, but it's okay.
Yeah. 100%. And I will say this: ghost Pokemon are just, I guess, are naturally creepy.
It's hard.
It was. I tried to add in ones that weren't ghosts, but then you look at some of them and it's like it will kill you if you look at it. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't not use that.
Let's get things started with actually, I would say probably the creepiest entry and one of the earliest ones that was kind of incorporated into the game.
Who we talking about?
We talking about Cubone and Marowak.
Yeah. Lavender Town. Basically, you're in a place where they bury Pokemon, which was kind of weird as a 7-8-year-old, because looking back at it, I didn't know that that's probably where I actually was when I was just playing it. But I did understand that the Marowak was a ghost and you couldn't catch it, and it was very weird. And the Pokedex entry really doesn't help the situation.
Yeah, it's especially weird because it's Cubone and Marowak are so distinctly linked to Lavender Town, and it's a concept that's so weird that we've talked about this a lot on this podcast before, but it's never revisited in Pokemon, really. This concept of like mass Pokemon, like a graveyard.
Yeah, them dying.
It's incredibly significant to the first game, but that like real world aspect being tied to a Pokemon is something that I think makes quite a few of these creepy, especially the earlier ones.
Well, I grabbed the Pokedex entry from Pokemon Sun, which has been updated. A lot of it, the early ones, is like it's deceased mother, it beats loudly. And that is still the case in Pokemon Sun and Moon. But when you introduce to that generation, now it sees that not only is it going through a lot of growing pains just itself, now it has a natural nemesis, which is Mandibuzz.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys remember Mandibuzz from Generation 5.
Yeah, the vulture?
Yeah, eats bones. Yes.
Yeah,
apparently.
Bones, yeah. Vultures do eat bones in real life, so that's okay.
Yeah, 100% too. I mean, I've never seen a vulture, but I'm gonna just assume it.
New York City.
I'm not gonna say vultures don't exist. I mean,
they definitely exist, Meelz.
Okay.
Meelz is a vulture truther.
Yeah, right.
They only exist in.
I see him out here in Georgia.
Man, I see him all the time in my personal life.
Let's transition to Marowak, which the only way that Cubone can evolve is coming to terms with the death of its dead mother, according to all Pokedex entries. The Pokedex entries in Pokemon Stadium. Let's talk about that. What a game!
Classic.
It collects bones from an unknown place. A Marowak graveyard exists somewhere in the world. Say.
What?
Incredible! A Marowak graveyard. A graveyard where only Marowaks are dead.
Yeah.
I want to get into, let's keep it in Gen 1. Let's keep it into a favorite of Pat.
Okay.
Ninetales.
Yes.
The Ninetales one. Yeah, the Ninetales one is incredible, I think.
Ninetales in Pokemon Red and Yellow. It says very smart and very vengeful. Grabbing one of its many tails could result in a 1,000-year curse.
Badass.
Wow.
Evil. Pretty badass.
1,000 years?
1,000 years.
I mean,
after your death.
Yeah, it's kind of optimistic.
I don't read a lot of Pokedex entries. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah, neither do I.
I never do. Yeah, I never.
I catch them, but I don't really read the entries. This one I came across in Gen 1 after playing it God knows how many times between Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Fire Red, Fire Green, Leaf Green, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Even Stadium has some crazy entries here, and I definitely have seen 0 of those.
That is insane, and that is creepy, and it feels like, but it feels right. I don't know.
No. Okay, I think it makes perfect sense for the Pokemon. I think.
Yeah, I mean, like Ghost Foxes with like kids. It's a Kitsune, so it has like this ghostly presence already.
Mm-hmm.
The yellow entry, where it says that 9 noble saints were united and reincarnated as this Pokemon.
That's like what?
That's a little bit like of the real world thing. Like noble saints. There's no noble saints in Pokemon. That's when they were still tying it to,
You're wrong, Pat.
to the real world.
Well, let's move on to the next Pokemon. Let's talk about one that is, I guess we can go a little bit further. This one is insanely popular, I think, amongst everyone here, and I think it's more so insanely popular, definitely amongst Chef. Mimikyu. Mimikyu, we talked about it initially when the game first came out, and it was one of the most jarring yet interesting sort of backstories to Pokemon that we've ever read. It says in Pokemon Sun, its actual appearance is unknown. A scholar who was under the rag was overwhelmed by terror and died from the shock. In Ultra Moon, it said, sad that its true identities may be exposed. Mimikyu will mercilessly seek revenge on any opponent that breaks its neck. Pokemon Sword, it wears a rag fashioned into a Pikachu costume in an effort to look less scary. Unfortunately, the costume only makes it creepier.
Man, wow. What a life, right? What a life.
They just the drive-by a Mimikyu.
There's not a lot of moments where like Pokemon gets it absolutely right, like 100,000%, like where it's just like, okay, this is a special Pokemon, everyone's gonna love this, that type of thing. Mimikyu was one of those rare occasions, and the Pokedex entry and its story and how it is, I mean, it tells the entire story, which is why I think it's perfect. To me, it's the perfect Dex thing, and they actually do joke about this in the anime. And the scene ended up getting deleted, so you won't see it again on television. But there is a scene where Meowth actually sees Mimikyu, and they show him floating in the water dead with X's over his eyes.
I want to bring it back to Gen 1 one more time, and this is an entry that I picked for this list. It is Paris and Parasect. Now, you may be wondering,
wow,
what is this both? What is
I
this?
Can't believe
bug
you're
Pokemon
taking it there, Meelz.
The reason it's creepy is because of a fungus that mushroom on its back. The mushroom is called a Tochukasu. Its Tochukasu spores are attached to the Paris eggs, causing the hatchlings to be doused upon them birth. As the Paris grows, so does the Tochukasu. The Tochukasu orders it to suck nutrients from trees, roots, trunks, and all this other stuff. But when the Paris evolves into Parasect, the Tochukasu takes complete control of the host and does all of the thinking. Essentially, Parasect, the body of it, is completely dead, which is why the eyes are white and all these other things. And it is the mushroom itself that is handling every sort of action that it does.
Things like with like growth, like fungus growth, like they really gross me out.
Let's take it to Gen 4 with Frostlass.
My favorite
Frostlass, it says, when it finds humans or Pokemon it likes, it freezes them and takes them to their chilly den where they usually become decorations.
Now, come on,
That is
man.
some sick shit.
That is extremely sick. Could you imagine walking into a Frostlass den and it's just humans and other Pokemon just dangling from the refrigerator, the walls?
We need to catch more of these Pokemon and keep them out of the wild, is all I need to say.
Also, can we just give it up for Chili Den?
Chili Den. Obviously, it's a cold house, right?
Is it a secret base that is just chilly?
It seems like it.
We'll never know.
Listen, we'll never know. Let's continue. I mean, alongside Frostlass, the other evolution of Snorunt, Glalie.
Oh, the Glalie one is weird, too.
Glalie has the ability to freely control ice. For example, it can instantly freeze a full solid after immobilizing its own ice. This Pokemon enjoys eating it in a leisurely fashion.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Why is he eating a whole Like it just freeze drying a Pokemon and eating it whole?
Yeah.
It has
That's
it has nothing else to do because it's legitimately a floating head with teeth.
That's it.
It
What else
has
can it
That's
do?
true.
It has nothing left to contribute there. The only thing it can do is eat, float, and look.
To be fair,
And freeze.
it looks like it does that, just visually.
Yes.
You know?
Like, I guess it's like an evil ice Mr. Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You know?
They had the
Yeah.
nerve to give it a Mega. Remember that, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody like Glalie that much? The Mega's kind of lame.
It is lame, and the other half is Frostlass, so
Yeah.
it's like you're not gonna win that one out.
Let's talk about the Sun and Moon Gen, who doesn't get a lot of shine. Palo Sand.
Palo Sand.
It is a sandcastle, a murderous sandcastle. It says its Pokedex entry is buried beneath the castle are masses of dried up bones from those whose vitality it has drained.
Dog, like there'd be kids at the beach, man. Like this guy has kid shovels attached to him. Man.
Yeah, and he's kind of cute.
I think so
Yeah.
too. So what? I mean, obviously you're gonna go play with him, and then you realize you're underneath the sand, dead.
I would be surprised if this is not another natural predator of a Cubone because of all the dried up bones underneath it.
It's so
That's
funny how
weird.
they don't like vet some of these. Like, yeah, this means a bunch of people died. Something that doesn't happen in the games and is totally foreign to the entire franchise.
Yeah, we don't
my.
investigate because they're just Pokemon. They're just wild Pokemon, so things happen.
No. Speaking of the kids, of course the kids. We all have to worry
Kids.
about the children. Drifloon.
Here we go. I knew this was where you were headed because this is some of the most eerie, just like, and there are a lot of kid like entries in this Pokédex, and I know we can't go through all of them because there are way too many to go over. But this one right
Yep.
here really takes the cake for real. Like,
Stories go that it grabs the hands of small children and drags them away to the afterlife. It dislikes heavy children.
come on, that's green. as Mark would say, that's green as fuck. Like I don't understand how. Imagine the writer, whoever wrote this Pokédex entry, and was like, you know what, I'm gonna spice this shit up.
Yeah.
Like, we just have to know that this little tiny balloon hates heavy kids. Of course.
Also, if he's a ghost, why does he care? He's taking another dimension. Their
I don't
weight
think it's
shouldn't
a
matter.
ghost.
I
Is it a
think it's
ghost
just
yet?
like a haunted balloon.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's unsettling because balloons, friendly kids. Who doesn't love playing balloons? Until you grab the end of the balloon and it pulls you away to the afterlife.
Yeah.
So it gives you this notion that this thing was made to kill children, which is
Yes.
which like, or not made, but it's here to kill children. That's why it's so creepy and weird to me.
And also battle, I guess. I don't know.
And battle, of course.
Yeah, of course. We use
Minimize.
Of course, we use Pokemon for our own evil undoing. Maybe we're the real ghost dragging these Pokemon to the
Yeah.
afterlife.
Yeah.
Wow, this is
true.
getting dark turn.
Let's talk about another one. Let's go back to Gen 1. Cadabra.
Cadabra. Another really weird.
Cadabra. All right. So there's a very long explanation about this, but it opens up definitely something about trading and evolving.
Oh, you read that too?
So-
I'm so glad you said that because I wrote that down. The trading aspect for the game.
Theory exists that this Pokemon was a young boy who couldn't control his psychic powers and ended up transforming into this Pokemon. Now here's the evolution part. Cadabras can only evolve after being traded, meaning they're stuck in a state of perpetual puberty, likely remembering their old lives until someone trades them away and they eventually die.
Jesus
To evolve.
Christ. Where
What
was
is
this
going on?
written?
On
This
the
is-
internet.
I was gonna say I thought this was in one of the actual Pokedex entries.
No, that part is like it's just like an added bonus. Somebody was just trying to explain. It does
Yeah.
make sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's a weird entry. 1,000%.
Imagine being
So
stuck at your Cadabra stage your entire life
Mhm.
because your trainer has no friends.
He can't trade to turn you into an Alakazam.
Yeah. Imagine all the Machokes, the Cadabras. I guess Scyther would be okay. Scyther's like, I'm good. Like, but all the other trading Pokemon, Shelmet and what's the other one? Carroblast and all the
Mhm.
other ones.
I think there's
Isn't that-
another Gen 1 one, I think.
Haunter.
Haunter.
And-
Yeah.
Which they're weird in their own way. We could do a whole show about Ghastly Hunter and Gengar.
Let us move on to Yao Mask.
Yeah,
Gen
Mask.
5's Yao Mask. Each of them carries a mask that used to be its face when it was a human. Sometimes they look at it and cry.
God damn.
I mean, it's not funny, but like
It's kind of funny.
it kind of is. It's like, man, what the kid? Okay, the kid thing and the used to be human thing is you see that a lot in a lot of these weird decks. Like it explains really nothing to how the Pokemon world works.
How often are humans being transformed into
Yeah,
Pokemon?
it's really, really, it's some weird stuff. It's some weird stuff.
It's
You got
worth
the-
making a cool anime about it. I'll say that.
It is worth it for sure. That adult Pokemon anime we all want, some of this stuff would definitely be involved.
It's certainly frightening. I mean, between that and then it evolves into Cofagrigus, and then not only does it, carry
He's
the face of
scary
its own
too.
human,
Yeah, he is
now
scary.
it just abducts humans and makes them into mummies. So
Again, foul.
let's talk about Gothitelle from Pokemon White and Pokemon Black. They can predict the future from the placement of the movement of the stars, and they can see trainers' lifespans.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, like why does everyone not have one? Like,
I don't know. I don't want to know.
I mean, they're eerie. I think
Yeah.
they're more eerie. I mean, I think in Pokemon they're kind of like cute, and even in Pokemon Go they have this like fashion event, and it's like, oh, it's fashionable. But when you think about Gothitelle, it's kind of really more so like frightening and scary, and it's a humanoid. It could actually probably pick you up and take you away.
Yeah, it looks like Anna Wintour.
Yeah. Yes, it says Gothitelle's immense psychic power can distort the space around it, showing visions of distant stars and past events. It can predict the future from the placement and movement of stars and the weeps when it discovers the lifespan of its trainer. That is a scary thing to know.
Yeah,
Why
there's
would you want
nothing
to
more
know?
evil. I guess you wouldn't know. It's not like she can tell you or he can tell you.
I mean, maybe.
They just know when it's time.
Shiddinja.
Yes.
Shiddinja is Pokedex entry, a discarded bug shell that came to life. Peering into the crack in its back is set to steal one spirit. Now, we don't have, I mean, this is a ghost type, but we don't have a lot of ghost types on here. Actually, we do have a lot of ghost types, but we don't have all the ghost types on here. But a lot of ghost types will let you know that they're stealing your spirit. It's that's
know.
just what it is.
Which we assume is death ultimately.
Yeah, basically, like, I mean, if it doesn't kill you, it turns you into a Shiddinja.
Right, so what's worse?
Yeah.
Imagine butterflies.
It's like, just kill me now, dude.
Yeah. You're a husk.
Imagine butterflies, moths, whatever, cocoon stage. They leave the cocoons, and now the cocoons become haunted things that torment people in the neighborhood. That's some sick shit.
Yeah, I don't like it. That is kind of like what happens when cicadas leave a shell anyway, and like you accidentally touch it. Very
That's
horrible
exactly what
situation.
happens,
Oh, really? I've never touched a cicada. No.
Oh, it's not good.
yeah, don't mess with
This is why Meelz doesn't leave New York.
That's just been everything that we've got thus far. Thank you guys for tuning in. YouTube exclusive content. Make sure you continue to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the Lookout Network on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or any. We've got a host of podcasts about anime, manga, Pokemon, everything under the sun. We've got everything that you ever wanted. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Mount Silver Podcast. If you like this content, please subscribe, please like, please share, and thank you. We'll see you guys next time.